Assalamualaikum. I welcome you all to Scholar Academy's online classes. Today's this video is about science and myself, Tahura Sheikh. Okay, let's start the video. In the previous video, we have seen topic number 1, that is gravitation, and in that topic we have seen Newton's law in detail. Now in this lecture we are going to see centripetal force, magnitude of centripetal force, and next point is a derivation in which we are going to prove that force is inversely proportional to square of the distance between two bodies. Then next, Earth's gravitational acceleration and some problems. First point, uniform circular motion or magnitude of centripetal force. Uniform circular motion, dear students, we have seen it earlier in the earlier lectures that uniform circular motion or a circular motion is a motion of an object along a circular path, that is a circular motion. Now uniform circular motion, if an object is moving along the circular path in a uniform speed with a uniformity, then that is called as uniform circular motion. Now if any object needs to move in a circular motion, then there must be a force acted on it, and that force must acted towards the center of the circle. A force which is acted towards the center of the circle will make an object to rotate in a uniform circular motion, and that force is called as centripetal force. We have already seen centripetal force in earlier lectures also. Centripetal force is a force which is directed towards the center of the circle, and it is acted upon an object which is in the uniform circular motion. Now if suppose an object is there, what is there, having a mass m. Suppose object A it is having mass m, velocity v, velocity to move in a uniform circular motion, and the circle it is traveling having radius r. Okay, if this body is moving along a circular path, I have shown this A here. If it is A and it is moving along a circular motion, then this R, this is the radius of the circle. It is moving with a velocity v and it is having mass m. If an object is having these criteria, then the force or the centripetal force will be equal to mv square divided by r. It is the equation for centripetal force for an object with mass m, velocity v, and radius of the circle r. Okay, for centripetal force is equal to mv square divided by r. Now v, we have known about it. V is nothing but velocity. It is equal to distance travelled upon time taken. Now here, can you guess what is distance travelled? If an object is moving in a circular motion or a uniform circular motion, it will cover a distance of a circumference of the circle, that is circumference will be 2 pi r, and I am denoting the time as t. Putting this value of v in this equation, the equation will become m 2 pi r by t bracket square divided by r. Now you can expand the equation. Expanding this equation, expanding this bracket will be 4 pi square r square, and this m divided by r. This r and the square gets cancelled out. The equation is 4 pi square m r divided by t square. Here we have left the t square. T square is also here. Okay, now this 4 pi square m r divided by t square, I am multiplying this equation with r square. Okay, then if you multiply it with r square, it will become 4 pi square m r cube divided by t square r square. ठीक है, अगर मैं इसको थोड़ा सा रीअरेंज करूँ, इफ आई एम रीअरेंजिंग दिस 4 m pi square r cube upon t square r square. If you isolate this part, you will get to know that t square upon r cube was equal to k in Kepler's third law, and in this equation it is in inverted form. So let's invert this k to add it into this equation. The equation will become 4m pi square upon r square k. This is our equation. Now we are already known that 4m pi square upon k, that is these all values are constants. Therefore we have concluded that force is equal to 1 upon r square into constant values. Therefore F is inversely proportional to 1 upon r square. This is our equation. From this equation, we can conclude that the centripetal force is inversely proportional to the square of the radius of the path, which means the Newton has discovered the centripetal force along with the gravitational force. He has concluded that the centripetal force between two objects or two planets or sun or a planet is inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. That was Newton's conclusion. Now about gravitational force. Gravitational force is the weakest of all forces, but it is the force which decides the future of the universe. It is the force responsible for life on the earth. Moving towards our next point, that are solved problems. These are the solved problems provided in your textbook, out of which I have chosen this question from your textbook only. The question says that Mahendra and Virat are sitting at a distance of 1 meter from each other. Their masses are 75 kgs and 80 kgs respectively. What is gravitational force between them? Dear students, question is very clear itself. It has already told us all the values, and it has already told us what we need to find out. It has clearly mentioned that Mahendra and Virat are sitting at a distance of 1 meter apart. That distance is provided. Their masses are clearly provided, and clearly mentioned here is that you need to find out the force of gravitation between them. So I have written the given values here. Distance 1 meter, mass 1 75 kgs, mass 2 80 kgs. Capital G, the universal gravitation constant. I have already mentioned this value in the previous lecture. That is, the value of capital G is 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square per kilogram square. It is fixed value for this capital G. It will never change. Okay, for solving the problems. Then we need to find out the force. Now, taking a look at these values, we must know what is the formula to find out the force. We have already seen that from Newton's universal law of gravitation, that force is equal to capital G m1 m2 divided by r square. So this is the formula. These are the values to put up in the formula. Let's put the values in the formula and solve the equation. F is equal to capital G 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 into mass 1 75 kgs, mass 2 80 kgs divided by r, that is 1 square. So by solving this, the answer will be 4.002 into 10 raised to minus 7, that is force. Unit of force is Newton. This is our answer for this question. I have given a question for your homework. The question says that calculate the gravitational force due to Earth on Mahendra in the earlier example. Okay, this question is related with the earlier question. Here we have provided with Mahendra's mass, and here in this question we are going to find out the gravitational force between Mahendra and Earth. So given values here are m1, that is mass of the earth, 6 into 10 raised to 24 kgs. Radius of the earth, 6.4 into 10 raised to 6 meters. m2, mass of Mahendra, because we need to find out the force between earth and Mahendra. Earth's mass, m1 is provided here. Mahendra's mass was provided here, 75 kg. Capital G, we are known with the values and we need to find out the force. You know the formula, you know how to put it in the formula, calculate it and solve it. Send me your answers. Earth's gravitational force. So today's our next point is this. Earth's gravitational force, we are all very well known that each and every object on the Earth's surface is attracted by the Earth by a force called as gravitational force. Now gravitational force is a force exerted by Earth on the objects of the Earth. The gravitational force is directed towards the center of the Earth. Why? Because the center of mass of our planet Earth is its center. So therefore gravitational force of the Earth is directed towards its center. Therefore when we throw any object in the upward direction, that object will automatically come down in the downward direction by the gravitational force. Now question will arise, why do objects go upward direction when there is a gravitational force? Dear students, answer is very simple, because in the opposite to this gravitational force, we are applying our force. You may call it as muscular force or any kind of force. When we apply which is greater than gravitational force, the object will move under the action of that force. When my force, if suppose I am throwing a stone in the upward direction, if the stone go up and then there will be a point where my force will become 0. At that point the gravitational force will act on that stone and it will automatically come downward towards the surface. Earth's gravitational force is a force exerted by Earth's surface. It is always directed towards the center of the Earth. So this was about today's videos. I hope you get all my points, all the concepts. If you have any difficulty, you can contact us at any time. We are available for you guys. Dear students, this video is for your sake of convenience, for your benefits. Please share this video to other students also. Let them have its benefits too. Share this video, like the video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for today.